So today in this video, I'm just going to be talking about failing just for a bit. It's kind of ironic that I'm talking about failing in a PB video, but alas, I did so many things wrong in this PB, and I wanted to see change because I didn't really like Desert Village. But alas, it did. I did decently well, but I made so many mistakes and failing. First fail, I mean, when talking about failing, I think about a lot of things. I mainly think about school, but also I think about RSG. Like RSG, I failed so many times. I've actually failed a PB. I didn't really fail the PB. Like I got a PB. Like it's like 20 something minutes, but it could have been so much faster. Like I don't want to upload it because it's just like such a bad run, I think, in my opinion. And plus, like 17 minutes in, because I failed in a lot of things. The first time I failed in that run was I got a BT and then I fell into a big ravine in the Nether, and I took like all of my hearts. I was literally left with like half a heart and just stuck in the Nether, but like it was just so chopped. And after that, I think I did the rest of that run pretty well. And then it was the Dragon Purge time where it was like I was at like 13 minutes or like no, I was probably at like 15 minutes or 16 minutes in the fountain, just waiting. Not really waiting, but trying to set up the one cycle. And I failed to set up the one cycle. And then the dragon because of the dragon's breath, and then the dragon purges. So at that point I was like, well, great. That could have been a sub 20. I lost that PB and I feel really bad about myself. So I think a lot of people have takes on failing or losing, basically. And I guess in ranked, I don't really care about losing elo. Like I do the joke of like, oh no, my elo graph is going all the way down. But like honestly, I don't really care. Like it's satisfying to see the graph go up, obviously, but I don't care about the elo aspect of losing. I care more about the fact that it's just I am bad. Like when you're speedrunning, there isn't much you can blame. Like the best you can blame is like frame dropping or lag. I also failed a portal here, by the way, because I don't know. I learned my lesson, I guess. So that's the first thing I failed at, and in this run, which is horrible. So I find the other lava pool. So a lot of people have different takes on failing, in which failing is like you can fail at something and then you could get really frustrated at either yourself or someone else. Like for example, in a group project, if someone fails, it's like if someone in your group doesn't do something that you want and then you guys get a bad grade out of it, that's technically not really your fault, but some people will like uh go and like blame them, which I mean, sure, in some cases I think that's fair, but I feel like I would blame myself more than other people. Like, and plus plus the fact that in ranked runs or like in basically speedrunning, it's a solo thing. Like there's no one else to blame other than myself. Like if I did bad, I can't just blame the other person for being like, oh, they're just better than me and you're like they're just better than me or like they should have lost that because I was better. But no. I think speedrunning comes down to a lot of things about self. Like if I am bad at something, if I'm bad at one particular split, I should have practiced more in that split. That's just how it should go. And if I don't practice in that split, like of course I would be bad. Of course I would be slower. Like obviously, there's like no reason that there's like no reason that I shouldn't be. And also I failed in this Bridge Bastion split like so bad. I lost like so much time here because a piglin shot me, I went down and I almost died there basically. I think I had like Feather Falling 4 or something. Was it? No, I didn't. I just had Iron Armor, which I think helped to like prevent my death. But I know other people when losing a rank game, they sometimes I think people trash talk, which is like, okay, well, first of all, there's not really much trash talking to do because the other person is just better. If you're in your elo, then if you're not in your elo, like if you get too lucky and then you get to like, for example, if I get to like Emerald like or Diamond, if I get to like Emerald 2 or something, I know that isn't my elo, but I somehow got there. Why? Because I'm lucky. Because the other opponent got unlucky, or like I got lucky with stuff, or like I'm consistent. But eventually it will balance out. Like I will balance out back to like gold three eventually, given enough time. And unless I practice, unless I somehow get better with mechanics, I will always be at gold. That's just my mentality a bit. Which I mean, I guess it isn't healthy, but at the same time, it's like I can't really comprehend much else. Like if I can only be in better elos when I myself is good at the game, you know. You get what I mean? Because why else would I be in gold? There's no one else to blame other than myself. Like I could be better in, for example, I could be better in terrain nav. I could be better to not die in the bastion. I could be better in a lot of things in overworlds. And if I'm not, then I lose the game. Like that's just how speedrunning is. But I kind of have like an acceptance when losing. Like I think I accept loss really quickly, which, well, not really quickly. It's like those types of things where when you accept loss, I kind of it's like when you're bad at like when you fail an exam. When the given the example that, oh, I failed in this exam, what would I do? I think I will just be in peace. Not really like I accept it. I accept it during the exam, you know? Like, you know, like the different stages of depression. I accept my fate during the exam when I am in the process of failing. That's kind of how it goes for me, which I think is kind of stupid, but I don't know. It's just how I act, I guess. Because at the end of the exam, I don't like bury myself in my head like, okay, I'm just so bad at this exam. I'm kind of like, well, great. I did horrible in this exam, so what do I do now? I can play Minecraft or study, and usually I choose the first, but but I should probably study more, but that's just how my mind works in a way. I know I should like accept things a bit more seriously than I have now, because right now I'm just kind of like, okay, well, whatever. And speaking of failing, other than like ranked or studying or like anything else, it's like I freaking missed the flight today, which is so stupid. Like I'm so stupid. I know I haven't accepted this fact yet because obviously this is like a way bigger thing than ranked or Minecraft or like studying. Like missing a flight is probably like the worst thing you can do in your life because it's so much it's just money. It's just like I shouldn't have missed that flight. Like it was like 12 p.m. Like I was going from London back home for like Christmas or something, and I missed the stupid flight because I overslept. Like the flight was at like 12 p.m. And yeah, that sounds great. But the check-in time was at like 3 p.m. And the check-in time was like 3 hours before that time. In which case it was like, okay, I should wake up at 7, go out at 8, reach the airport at 9 or 10, and then check in and then go do whatever. And then because that's like the normal path, right? But I ended up waking up at like 9 or like 8 or 9, and it's just so dumb. But I'm just so bad at because I slept at 2 a.m. the day before because I was like packing and I guess also like chatting with friends. But like I don't know, like I feel like I shouldn't have stayed up that late. And if I hadn't stayed up that late, I wouldn't have slept in. I wouldn't have would miss my flight. I wouldn't have had this experience to be like even longer than it should have. Like I don't want to be stuck in London. Like if I'm stuck in London for like another day, I'm like it's so chopped. But anyway, that's probably like the biggest failure of my year so far because like great, I just wasted some parasite. I mean, not really wasted because it the flight ended up being rescheduled. Like we were able to reschedule the flight, but it's just like so annoying. Like I'm just so bad at I this never happened to me before because I usually like I always reach the destination like earlier than I should. Like I always reach the airport like 3 hours or 4 hours before. It's just in this case, it's just somewhat out of my control because I freaking overslept and I set like 10 alarms and those alarms weren't enough to wake me up. I'm just stupid. I'm just actually stupid. So the flight rescheduled to like a flight probably like 2 days from now, but it's at 8 a.m. instead of 12 p.m. So my plan for that is I wanna fix my sleep schedule. Not fix, I wanna like de warp my sleep schedule, you know? Like I'm going to sleep at probably like 4 or 5 a.m. the next day, and then I'm gonna wake up in the afternoon and I'm just going to stay awake for that entire duration of time because um, because if my flight is at 8, like I had to reach the airport at like 4, because now obviously like I don't wanna have that experience again. I reached the airport at 4, which means I have to take transport at 3, which means I have to like get myself ready at like 2 or 1. But there's also like another event that's happening from like 10 to 1 or like 10 to 2 maybe. So it's like, okay, I might as well attend that event. So I'm going to sleep from 12 p.m. probably to like 10 p.m. And I'm going to just stay awake for the entire time until the flight, in which case I'll just sleep on the flight. I think that's tech, not gonna lie. I think that's how I'm going to like go about that flight thing. But it's just so annoying. It's so annoying that I could have been on the flight right now, actually. Because this happened like this morning. I could have been on the flight right now, going back home and eating. And then when I get home, I can just chill and eat good food. And yet I'm stuck in London and I bought like four different meal deals because like, because I used up everything in my fridge with the intention of like, okay, I should eat up everything in my fridge so when I don't like, so the food doesn't rot in the fridge. So now I have nothing in my fridge. So I had to buy like meal deals from Sainsbury's. So now I have four different meal deals to last me until like when my flight is like there, you know? But it's just chopped. It's so chopped. This shouldn't have happened. And it's like right now, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know which stage of depression this is. It's just like I don't know. I'm just stupid, I think. I'm just dumb. And I guess another thing about failure is so much more apparent when there are actual consequences to this. In which case, yeah, this has a lot of consequences because I missed my flight and it costed like money to reschedule it and it's like, okay, great. I just fumbled. I actually just fumbled. I made my parents' lives like harder than it should have been. So I also missed a zero. I also failed a zero here, by the way, which is kind of unlucky. Not unlucky, it's just a skill issue. Like it's another skill issue. I don't know what I'm saying. But yeah, it's just so annoying to have to cost someone else something because of your mistake. And yeah, it's just ugh, I just feel so bad about myself, I think. I also just kind of fail here, I think. Wait, did I fail here? Yeah, I failed to place a block there, and I almost just die and lose the PP, basically. So it's just nerves. I think failure comes along with nerves as well. It's just very nervous. Anyway, enjoy the one cycle. PPV. Sub 14, baby. Sub 14.